Hello and welcome to day 2 of the Tapping Forgiveness Challenge. Olga is here, and today we are diving into the step-by-step process on how to use tapping or EFT or fast EFT for this beautiful forgiveness process. So yesterday we talked about how important it is to set an intention and to get very clear on your why, right? So why are you doing this work? And we also talked about how really going deeper and releasing those past hurts is the sure first step to creating more abundance in your life, manifesting your desires with more ease, because you're creating space and you're really releasing those internal representations of how you're looking at other people through the process of forgiveness. You really are forgiving yourself, right? But the way how our conscious and subconscious perceive it is really that we are pointing fingers in some way, shape, or form or others who are really just helping us to go deeper and grow and heal. So today we'll talk about the fast EFT process ongoing there. And the reason I'm so passionate about this specific modality is because it really helps you diffractionate or break down the process to help you implement these changes and make them on the level that is beyond the conscious mind. And the truth is that the rules that are working on subconscious mind are different than the rules that are working on conscious mind, right? So if things would be logical, then we wouldn't have any problems. Like logically, you know it's in the past. Logically, you know that the person not even there. Logically, you understand why things are happening. But emotionally, you are not quite congruent with that. So the tapping process really helps you bridge things that you understand that are logical with how you actually feel in the body. So when you think about that person, or when you create a certain situation that could trigger you potentially, you just don't have the same body response. Isn't that gorgeous? I think it's absolutely brilliant. So we'll talk about this today. And what I'll be teaching you today, guys, is actually the process of re-imprinting memory or changing the memory. So let's talk about it for just a second. So why do we want to go there, and why do we want to change memories or address memories? So here's the truth, guys. Memories are affirmations. Not only memories are affirmation, they are the strongest, the most powerful ones, because those are the ones that affirm our subconscious mind. And we talked about how really 95% of your decisions are driven by that part of you, right? And so as you're growing up, billions and trillions of memories were fed onto you from your environment, from your parents, how they interacted, how they related to each other, what kind of relationships they had with money, from school and from so many other places. And really clearing out that what will help you manifest more and manifest with ease. And no, you don't have to change all the memories, right? That's impossible. But what you will do is you change some key core memories that do create this picture or perception or the map or reality that you're currently creating from. And so this is so profound. I was talking to my fast EFT coach last night, and this is the work that I do with clients every single day. And then the changes are just short of a miraculous. And I was sharing something with her on what we've tapped and the memory that we've changed together. So a couple of years ago, I was working on forgiving my parents, my dad. And there was a memory when mom and dad were fighting, or he cursed and then she got upset and she started crying. And it's just never been resolved. So that memory just really popped up. And sure enough, there was quite a few of those. So that's the kind of scenario that I've been using in my life subconsciously. So here's what happened. I actually married my dad. Well, actually, it wasn't my dad, it was my husband. But I was totally unconscious to that fact. And I did not see that, right? Because we always marry the parent that we want to make peace with. And so I was healing my relationship with my dad. And I think it's when I tapped on that memory is that I didn't have a need to stay in a toxic relationships with my husband, ex-husband now. And so what we've done with that memory, we've went through this process that I'm about to teach you, just a three-step process, and we changed it. And here's what we've done with this. The last step 3 of the process that we're about to go through has to do with re-imprinting the memory or changing it. And it's really a beautiful step that is not used as often in classic EFT. It's really a fast EFT process. And the reason why it's so powerful, because it's really creating change on the level where you're not just releasing things and leaving an empty space, you actually replace it with something that you do want. So as we were tapping on that memory of my parents fighting, and my mom crying, and my dad cursing, and we released the emotional intensity in that memory, my practitioner asked you, well, what do you want to feel instead? What do you want them to do instead? And I said, you know what? I want them to be tapping on each other. I want them to sit down and tap on each other. And it was such a foreign idea to experience this beautiful tapping process with an intimate partner. But that's what I was into. And I knew it was working. I've been using it a lot by then. And I was like, how gorgeous would it be to experience it with someone that you are connected on that level? So in my mind, I created this picture of where my mom and my dad are tapping when they are struggling. They just sit down next to each other, they look into each other's eyes, and they tapped on each other. They breathed together, and after that, they gave each other a hug and went on with their day. So they actually resolved it. And I started crying so bad when I've done this. And I go like, why am I crying if it's a good thing? I actually have cleared it. I actually have changed it. And she said, well, the reason why you're crying is because this is something that you want so much. You're desiring this type of interaction with a partner. So long story short, a few years down the road, last year I'm divorcing my husband, and this year I'm starting to date. And I'm seeing this amazing man right now, and we are just so into each other, and we're exploring these relationships, and we're learning things about each other. And sure enough, I taught him tapping, right? And the day before yesterday, we had a date, and afterwards we were sitting and talking, and he got triggered, and I go like, well, would you like to tap on that? And he goes like, yes. So we were sitting there looking at each other, and I was tapping on it. And later on that same evening, I didn't quite feel well. And he looked at me and was like, what's the matter? And I was like, how did you know? I didn't want to say anything. He was like, well, I can feel it. And I go like, well, I feel this tightness in my chest. And what would you like to do? I was like, well, let's tap on it. So I literally manifested this impossible dream or impossible memory that I've created only, a couple of years down the road. And so for me, it was just absolute impeccable proof of that this process really does work. Things that we create in our mind become our reality. And if you cannot even picture it, guess what? There's no way you're going to manifest it, right? I mean, some people are really powerful creators, but for most people, you have to picture it first, right? You have to visualize it first. So what I would like to invite you right now is to think about what we talked about last night, and that's the setting the intention and the person that you're forgiving, and see if you can pick a memory, something specific that represents the way you feel about that person. So if that's a guilt or shame, or there's some resentment or anger, or maybe helplessness or hopelessness, whatever it is, I would like for you to go to a specific memory that really popped up, and we're going to do it together right now. So step number one, pick a memory that is not a very fun one, because we're going to work through this together right now on this video. Once you and pause it if you need to, and maybe do some journaling, right, to get it there. But honestly, your subconscious will bring the right one. If you thought about something, don't question it. Just take this. So what I'd like for you to do with this one is just to notice what it is, right? So right now with me, I want you to step into this memory and just kind of notice what's there. You might see people, you might see pictures, you might start feeling something or experiencing something, right? Because you are reliving it right now on some level. And by the way, don't re-traumatize yourself. So if you're feeling too deep, just kind of start tapping a little bit. We really don't want any trauma. Now, but I do want you to experience it on some level, and I want you to take it slow and gentle just as much as you can. As you do so, notice things like facial expressions, notice any sounds or pictures or feelings in your body. And again, if there's a lot of things coming up, just pause this video and sit down and write them down. Do a quick journaling on that, because that's the material that we're going to use in the next step for tapping. Now, if it kind of comes out naturally and you don't feel like you are overwhelmed and you can start tapping right now, then we are ready for a second step. So step two in this process is the tapping process, right? So that's the part that connects your brain with your body to where you can feel the feelings in your body and release them. It's unaddressed feelings and emotions that create all the problems in our life. Going back to them, releasing and clearing them up creating space to manifest something that you want. So you are creating by design, not by default. So as you're going to this memory, I want you to go ahead and tap with me. Just notice what emotion's there and just tap between your eyes and just say this feeling, this emotion. And I'm just going to say some words. You can say them along with me. You can say your own. So often they are similar in heavy memories, right? So I release the sadness. I release the fear, the heaviness. It's safe to let go of helplessness and hopelessness. Releasing the feeling of no control. It's safe to change it. Giving myself permission to feel different about it. That memory. It's safe for me to change the pictures. Sorry, I'll slow down. I do this when I talk so fast. It's safe for me to let it go. Clearing up from every cell of my body. That event is in the past. And it's my time to heal it. It's safe for me to let it go. It's safe for me to see it differently. It's my time, and I'm ready for it. I release and let it go. Every representation from this memory, that thing that happened, the conclusion that I've made, it's safe to clear it. It was just misunderstanding. It's safe to let it go. I choose to see it differently. I choose to forgive them. And I forgive myself. I know that they've done the best what they could with what they knew. They didn't know tapping. They did know some other tools that I practice. They had very little emotional intelligence. But they did love me the best way they could. The way that they were loved. So I forgive them. And I forgive myself for judging it against myself, for holding it against myself. It's my time to let it go. It's safe to let it go. And just finish tapping and grab your wrist and breathe in. And breathe out. And say peace. Brilliant. So after you've done this process, just go back and check mentally, return to this memory and just notice what happened there. Do you still feel it? Are they still real? What you'll notice, guys, and I can guarantee you that it'll start going down. It'll start changing and shifting. And it happens with every single one of my clients. Sometimes it takes just a couple of rounds. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time, but it does change and it does go away. So if it hasn't changed much from the first time, just do a few more rounds. And notice things like pictures, notice things like sounds, and start switching them in your mind and start changing them. Now, after a few rounds, when you've gotten it to 0 or near 0, where it's more of a neutral, that's where we're going to do the flip. Remember the thing that I told you when, my parents were fighting and the next thing I know that they were tapping? So that's what we're going to do. And, people will have resistance to changing memories this way because it's just so unusual, right? They'll say, well, I don't want to be a liar. It did happen. Well, here's the truth, guys. It did happen, but it's not happening anymore, except in your mind. And you didn't do a really, really good job to use it to torture yourself, right? So it's okay to love yourself differently. It's okay to be open-minded. It's okay to learn new tools. It's okay to see things differently. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to change your perspective and we're going to because you see, memories really are just recordings of something that happened in the past, right? They're kind of like, CDs that you're replaying sort of thing. So all what you're doing, you're taking that CD and you're replacing it with a better one, right? The one that creates a better reality, the one that nurtures better beliefs that you can create your life from, that you can make your decisions from. So as you're going to that CD, what I want you to do is I want you to rewrite it and make it good. Make it the way what you do want and give yourself permission to do so. Now, if you're struggling, then tap a little bit more and say, it's okay to change it. It's totally fine to change it. I'm ready for it. I'm sick of the old stuff. It's okay to let it go. And as you're rewriting it, just really close your eyes and notice the emotions in that new memory. How does it make you feel? Does it feel peaceful? Does it feel inspiring? Does it feel present? Does it feel gentle? Does it feel supportive? Does it feel caring, loving? And just really, really notice those emotions. Rewrite the memory, put different emotions in there, and really feel it. Take a second to really sink into that and really enjoy it. Because what you're going to do from now on, you're going to start practicing this feeling versus the old one. And you're going to build up little by little incrementally the new way of being, the new way of creating, the new way of manifesting. And as you've done that in the privacy of your mind, just open your eyes, just kind of stretch a little bit. And so this is the 3-step process, right, that I want you to practice. Now, you can use it over and over again with any memory, right? And sometimes when I work with the client, we can actually collapse a few memories at a time because I use advanced techniques where we put them on a shelf and 5 to 10 memories changed in one session. And then, a few sessions down the road, the whole world is changing, right? Because people just don't see things from the same narrow mind way of looking at things. So perspective open up, business opportunities, the income is coming, the relationships are improving. So this process is absolutely profound. Use it. It really, really does work. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll be jumping in on Facebook Live to answer your questions and to talk with you and to offer you some insights into this beautiful process. Rather than that, I'll see you all guys tomorrow in day 3. Can't wait. Bye.